Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Apologies if this is a bit wonky, I think it is. You are currently propped up on my steering wheel and the steering wheel is wonky. So I can't quite get my phone straight, but hello. I am so excited for today's video. If you are looking at me and thinking, you look a bit run down, correct, I've just landed back in the UK. I've been away on holiday in Spain. I've had my summer holiday and I am now so ready for the autumn. It is September, which means it's autumn. I literally landed back this morning, stepped foot in my house, done my suitcases, came straight out, and I've just been to B&M and bought some autumn bits and bobs, which I'm very excited to show you, which I'm going to do in a sec. But yeah, hello, it is autumn and I am thrilled. This video is just going to be a compilation of me kind of getting ready for autumn. We've moved house since last autumn, so I'm going to be getting all of the old autumn decorations out. I honestly can't remember what I've got, seeing where they fit in the new house, buying some new bits and bobs. I've not bought loads of decorations today because I don't know what I need yet. I don't want to buy stuff for the sake of it. I probably will end up buying stuff for the sake of it, but I at least want to try and refrain from that for a bit. So yeah, this video is just going to be a compilation, like cleaning the house, getting ready for autumn, decorating the house, doing some autumn shops, autumn walks when the leaves start to fall. Just a general compilation of autumn things. So first of all, B&M haul. I have an oil diffuser at home that I've never used. It's also a lamp and I just use it as a lamp. I've never actually put oil in it. I don't necessarily know how to use it or if this is like compatible with it, but I'm hoping it is. It's this Essential Mist. It's a refill for a specific machine, but I'm hoping that I can just pour this into my oil diffuser. Am I being silly? I have no idea. Either way, the actual machine for this is only £4 in B&M, so if needs be, I will just go back and buy the actual machine for this. I was really interrupted yesterday by my boyfriend having the audacity to come back to the car to go home. Anyway, I was just about to show you that I picked up this. Is this premature? Yes, because this isn't autumn, this is very much winter. This is literally called Winter Spice Zoflora. This is hands down, by far, in every universe, my favourite Zoflora scent. They didn't have the actual Zoflora concentrate of this yet in my B&M, they only had the spray. But I like having this anyway, just to clean, wipe down surfaces on days where I'm not doing a whole like bucket with Zoflora kind of vibe. So I picked this up and am I going to open it and sniff it? Yes. Oh, it just smells so nice. As soon as I have finished with my current disinfectant sprays, we are going to be opening this. I do have a couple that I am in the middle of. I have an actual Zoflora Springtime, which I do love. I do love that one. I also have the Mountain Air, is that what it's called, Zoflora to use? And then I have a couple of, what's that brand called? Method sprays. The custard something one. And then like a nice perfumey smelling one. As soon as they are done, we are going to be cracking this open. I probably won't use all of those, or I'll probably save some of them for after I finish with this to go back to. But literally, why am I talking about disinfectant for 20 minutes? No one cares. This is my favourite scent. The other things I got were, I'll include overlays of these. I got some really cute tea towels. One that says Hello Autumn and the other one has like pumpkins and things on. And then I also got a really cute doormat that I think also says Hello Autumn, because we didn't have a doormat for the front door. So I got those as well. So exciting. By no means is this the autumn shop complete, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be buying more things, but I think I said that I want to get all the autumn stuff out at the weekend first, see what we've got, see what goes where in the house, and then I can go out and buy more. I did also buy myself some sunflowers, so I'll include a little overlay clip of those as well. They're not very autumnal necessarily, but they are cute. I am just finishing work for the day. And I don't need to pick my boyfriend up quite yet, so I think I'm going to go for a walk. It's not autumnal outside yet. The leaves on the trees are still green, so it's probably not going to be like autumn aesthetic. However, I go for pretty much daily walks in the autumn and winter, weather permitting. I haven't been going on walks as much in the summer because it's been quite warm and I don't want to sweat. I don't find that enjoyable. So now that it's cooled down a bit outside, I think it is the perfect time to go on our first little walk of the season. Quick interlude as I'm getting ready to go out on the walk, because I completely forgot to mention the books that we're reading in this video. This is still going to be a bookish reading kind of vlog. If you saw my holiday vlog that went up I think a couple of weeks ago now, I started reading some books in there that I didn't finish, and I mentioned that they were going to be in an upcoming autumn vlog. Here is said upcoming autumn vlog. So the first couple of books we're going to be reading in this video that I'm going to focus on, there's two. That's four. There's two. The first one is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet, I believe. I'm listening to this one predominantly on audio. I do also have it on Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I actually read most of the first part of it on Kindle, but I've since got the audiobook on Everand. Is that how you pronounce that? Not 100% sure. Anyway, no one cares. I'm reading it on Kindle and listening to the audio. And I'm really conflicted on how I feel about it. I also don't exactly know how to describe it. It's quite a dark book. There are definitely some dark elements that are starting to come out. It's gothic. It's fantasy, but not kind of overly fantastical. It's set in our world back in, is it the 18 or the 1900s? A while ago in America. Basically, we've got our main character and she's living a very normal, very simple life. She's a teacher and she gets a letter one day saying, your dad's dead. And she's a bit confused by this because she's grown up in an orphanage. She doesn't know her dad. I don't believe she's ever met him. So she's a bit confused as to why she would be left anything in his will. And it says in this letter, you have to go to Fairydale, which is a village, town somewhere, for the reading of the will. Basically, it can't be read unless you are there. So she's like, that's a bit inconvenient, but okay, like, I don't know that I necessarily like want anything to do with this, but fine, like if they need me there to read the will, I'll go. So off she goes, and pretty much as soon as she arrives, weird shit starts happening that just can't be explained. She doesn't know who to trust. I, as the reader, don't have a clue who we're supposed to trust. I don't know who's good, who's bad. Literally no idea. So it's a bit all over the gaff at the minute. I don't know quite how I feel about it because I don't know who to trust. I love the main character. Other than that, I have no idea whose side we're supposed to be on. So it's definitely an interesting reading experience. It's also a very long book. The audiobook, I believe, is 31 hours long. So it is quite a long one. But I am enjoying it. There's some trepidation there. And then the other book we're reading, similarly trepidatious, is, that's not a word, Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. I'm traumatised. I'm about 150 pages in and will I ever recover? I'm reading this book very slowly. I am making no promises that I will finish it in this video because I care about my own mental health actually. I'm reading it as and when I am in the headspace to do so. I was going to say in the mood, I'm never in the mood. I want to read it. I'm very interested in the story. I love the series. But it's hard. It's very hard hitting. All of the books, you can see them behind me, are hard and very triggering and very, very dark and heavy. But this one is on another level. I feel like all the other books, they are interspersed with humour. This book, there's like no humour. It's just one thing after another. And like, you think the other books are one thing after another, but seriously, this is on another level, Releasing 10. Like, it's like nothing I've ever read before. So I'm just reading like a chapter or two at a time whenever I'm in the headspace to do so. So I'm making no promises. I'm not going to force myself to finish it for the sake of a video when it might harm my noggin. So they're the books we're reading. I do plan to read a couple of other books in this video, but I don't want to commit to that yet. We'll see how we get on with these because they are both, oh, bit of hair sticking up. They are both very long books, so we'll see how we get on. But Fairydale in particular is very autumnal, so I feel like that one very much fits in this video. And Releasing 10 is so horrifically dark and emotional that I feel like that also fits the vibe of autumn and this time of year. But anyway, I'm going to go on my walk now and listen to some more of Fairydale, and I will probably get back to you at some point tomorrow. My birthday is actually tomorrow. I'll probably get back to you tomorrow at some point on my birthday to let you know if I've got any reading updates. I'm just currently sat in my car eating a croissant before I go on my birthday walk, listening to Fairydale, and I hate it. This book is pissing me off to the nth degree. If I have to hear the phrase Lizzie mine or Darcy darling one more time, I don't even know what I'm going to do. But it won't be pleasant. There's actually leaves falling from the trees, like it's actually somewhat autumnal. I feel like I'm coming alive. I am indeed currently sat on the floor. I've just put my shoes on, ready to go out for a walk. But I fear I just keep filming B-roll clips of me going for walks and then giving no context. Oh, the washing machine's on, let me move. Yeah, I feel like it's just B-roll with no context. So yesterday on my lunch break, I went and did a little spot of book shopping. I am going to film a separate birthday book haul and upload that. I've been really good about not buying loads of books this year. So I thought for my birthday, that's the perfect time to treat myself. I did get some vouchers as well. So yeah, I'm going to do a birthday book haul, but I had a quick look around the works yesterday and did get a couple of bits. So I'll pop those in the haul. I went for a walk the day before yesterday. I can't remember when the last time I actually spoke to you was for this video. I went for a walk, actually saw some leaves. Imagine that, some autumn leaves are finally falling from the trees. And I'm about to go for another walk. I'm on my lunch break again from work and I'm going to go out for another walk. There will be other things in this vlog other than me just going for walks. I think I'm going to go and do, obviously I'm going to do the decorating this weekend. I think I might try and do quite a bit of that tomorrow evening and then maybe do a bit of shopping over the weekend, go to B&M and stuff and get some bits, go to a different B&M because the one I went to at the beginning of this video didn't have a mass amount of stuff. It didn't have a full autumnal aisle, it was a really small section. But I know that other local B&Ms have got bigger sections, so I think we might go to B&M again this weekend. Maybe go to TK Maxx as well. Go to a few little cute homeware shops and get some bits for the new house. But yeah, anyway, for now, I am going to go out for the walk. I do like to go for at least one walk a day, ideally. It just makes my soul happy. I'm just looking out the window and the trees are getting like, obviously not in real time, but I mean like day by day, the trees are just getting more orange. And it's just making me, I feel like I'm being reborn as the trees are turning orange. So I'm going to go look at more trees and go for a walk. I'll also read an update. I'm listening to King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I've paused Fairytale because I'm not liking it. I was actually really enjoying it when I was reading it on Kindle, and since I started listening to the audio, I wasn't loving it, even though the audiobook isn't bad. So I'm going to go back and read some of it on Kindle and see if it is the actual book that I'm not enjoying or if I just prefer the experience for this one of reading it physically. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to listen to King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, which is... No, Rule of Wolves. I've read King of Scars. Rule of Wolves, that's the second one in the duology. And it's all part of the same universe as Shadow and Bone, which I didn't love. But I did actually quite like King of Scars. So I have hope that Rule of Wolves might end out this universe in somewhat of a positive way for me, because I have very, very mixed luck with Leigh Bardugo. But yeah, I'm literally on chapter 2. So I'll give a proper update on this book at some point in this video when I've read a bit more of it. I have lit my first autumnal candle of the season. It's a pumpkin spice, I think, is it like pumpkin spice latte or something? It's basically just a pumpkin spice candle and I am thrilled. Hello everyone, it is the next day again. I can't remember if how much I actually spoke yesterday, but I did have a very cozy evening. It was dark, it was rainy, I made a casserole in the slow cooker. I've just eaten the leftovers of said casserole for my lunch today. Today is Friday. And obviously I'm on my lunch break from work. I've just finished eating and I've got some time spare. So I'm going to go for a walk, but not just my usual walk. I'm going to like get in the car, go and drive somewhere, go for a walk. I'm going to get out and I'm going to take my Kindle, because this is the kind of walk where it's like not actually that much of a walk. It's more of like a little stroll and then a sit down and read kind of vibe. So I'm going to take my Kindle. It has forecast rain, but it's currently like bright blue skies. So I'm hoping that it just maybe won't rain. I also feel like it's very clear that it's cold today because I've whipped out the White Fox tracksuit. This is when you know that I am cold, is when I am, please ignore that I've spilled, I think it's toothpaste down the front. When I'm wearing the matching White Fox tracksuit, that's when you know that it's cold. Just arrived and it's just started raining. Love that. Great. It's raining heavily enough, like it's not just spitting, like it's too heavy for me to get out of the car and walk. So I think I'm just going to sit and listen to some Rule of Wolves. Is that what I'm reading? I think that's what it's called. I'm going to sit and listen to some of my audiobook in the car and hope that the showers pass. I can see some blue skies, so I'm hoping that it'll just be like a quick 10-minute shower that will blow over so that I can still have a little walk around. That would be great. everyone. Apologies for many things. The hot water bottle, the fact that you can probably hear noise outside because the bin men are here and there's a storm, so it's very windy. But I just wanted to do a little haul of some exciting autumnal bits that I picked up yesterday. The first one is this jumper from Tesco. I understand that this is not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people are probably looking at this thinking, that's a bit much. I love leopard print. I have always loved leopard print, so I love this. It's so nice and cozy and warm. And it was £25, but it had 25% off, so it didn't actually cost me £25. And I also got pretty much the same jumper in this really nice, like, wine burgundy kind of colour. Again, just something a bit more plain, but another nice cozy jumper. I really was lacking in jumpers. I've had the same ones for years and years, and a lot of them have either like fully just broken, they've got big holes in that can no longer be repaired. So I basically needed a couple of new jumpers that I could wear when the weather is now getting very cold. I also got quite a lot of homeware bits. I got two of these collapsible footstools, like these ottoman things. I got a grey one, and I also got a cream one. I've been needing some little storage things like this for around the house, so I got two of those. They're both from Aldi and they were only £14.99 each, which when I was looking online, these were like 35 quid minimum. So very happy that I only paid £15. Also from Aldi, I got some really cute, mostly pumpkin related things. Let me just grab them all. I first of all got a couple of bigger pumpkins. So I got this like orangey coloured one, and then this really cute checkered one. I thought this would look cute in the book room. I thought these were adorable, and these were only £4.99 each, which I didn't think was bad. I don't know if you can tell that, like, they're not massive, but they're a reasonable size pumpkin, so very happy with those. I also got two smaller pumpkins. These are technically doorstops. These were also £4.99. These are a lot heavier. These ones are more like cushions. These are quite heavy, but I'm going to put them on the floor anyway, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm going to put them out on the stairs or something. So I got, again, an orangey coloured one and a little cream coloured one. And then I got another couple of little bits. I got a ghost. I don't know where he's going to live, but I just took one look at this ghost and thought, I can't go home without that. So here he is. And then, and he was also, I believe, £4.99. And then I got this really cute light up toadstool. You can see it lights up. And this was only £2.99. They had quite a few different light up things. I just thought the mushroom was quite cute. So that's my little homeware and jumper haul. Sorry, this water bottle's really distracting, but I'm just so cold. I also have a couple of reading updates. I won't talk too lengthily. Is that a word? I don't know about these. I'm still reading Fairy I'd say I'm nearly done. I really don't think I am. I'm not as nearly done as I want to be. I'm not going to DNF because I'm intrigued, but I still don't love it. I will talk fully about all my thoughts when I finish the book, but the romance is ruining it for me. And I never thought I would say that about any book ever, but the romance is really ruining everything else about Fairy for me. But I want to just finish the book and really cement my thoughts before I talk at length about how I feel about it. Hello everyone. I come to you looking rather dishevelled on a very dark rainy morning. I'm about to start work, so it's early in the morning. But I just wanted to give you a reading update. So I finished Fairy a couple of days ago, and I gave it 1.5 stars. It was going to be a 2, and then the more I read, the more angry I got. It just got more and more ridiculous. I did a full review on Goodreads, so I don't want to kind of harp on too much here and be repetitive, because I think I've already kind of shared my thoughts on this book. But just to give a quick brief rundown of why I didn't enjoy this, I feel like the setup at the beginning was so intriguing, so atmospheric. I adored the writing. I thought this was going to be a 5-star read at the beginning. It was just beautifully written. And then we seemed to abandon all sense of plot, atmosphere, intrigue, anything, and just obsess over weird men for the next like 600 and odd pages. This is a long book, and for me, I don't understand why it was so long, because it wasn't filled with fantasy or intrigue. There wasn't really a magic system. It was just people could do what they needed to do whenever they needed to do it. It didn't really make any sense. For a book this long, I would expect like a really well thought out, well explained magical system, not just, oh, some people have got powers and that's the way it is. I would also expect the kind of atmosphere to continue throughout the book. And in some places it did, but again, in some places we just abandoned everything and focused on men. And also I feel like there were too many
different settings. I don't want to say too much more than that. I enjoyed having like 2, but I think more than that was just a bit too much. It was too many storylines to follow. Not that it was difficult to understand, but it was boring. I knew what was going on in each storyline, I just didn't care, unfortunately. So yeah, I did not love this book at all. And justice for Mr. Meow, because what the fuck was that? Disgusting. Yeah, not the book for me. I can see why people love it. I think if the romance in this book hits for you, the book is going to hit for you, because so much of it revolves around the romance. It's not a fantasy book with a bit of romance in. Like, a lot of the plot as the book develops is completely centered around the romance, in my opinion, anyway. So if the romance works for you, the book will probably work for you. But I didn't like the couple together at all. I didn't like the MMC. I thought he was weird and annoying. So yeah, that's that, 1.5 stars. And after that, I needed another palette cleanser, so I've started yet another hockey romance. Not very autumnal, but to be fair, the book does start very near the beginning of the book is in September, and it's currently September. And it is Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. This is the 4th book in the Vancouver Storm series, and I've had very mixed luck with this series so far. The first book was fine. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable enough, but didn't wow me, didn't blow me away. The second book, was that the one that I was obsessed with? The Fake Out, is that the second one? Yes, it was. The Fake Out, I gave 5 stars. Obsessed with that book. The third one, I really didn't like. It was a struggle to finish. I think I gave it 2 stars. I found it really boring and flat. And then this is number 4. So I'm hoping that number 4 will be better than number 3. So far I am conflicted. So the setup for this story is that we've got Alexei, who is a hockey player, and Georgia, who is a doctor. She works as a team doctor, but also she works at a local hospital as well, on like a athlete's recovery program, like a research program. She doesn't work kind of in the hospital itself. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, she's a doctor. So they kind of work together and they hate each other, absolutely hate each other. You see it in all the other books in the series, how much they hate each other. So they find themselves in a situation where they need to be married. And so that's what they do. And they still hate each other during marriage. They absolutely despise each other. And it's very interesting. That on paper sounds great to me. I do quite like fake dating / marriage of convenience. I also do quite like, I'm calling it enemies to lovers, it's not because it's contemporary romance, but I do quite like the dislike to love. I like the tension that it brings to a story. However, the MMC Alexei is just mean. He is mean. He's not grumpy. This isn't Grumpy Sunshine. He's mean. He's horrible to Georgia. Does she give it back? Yes. But only really when she's provoked. She'll start like little arguments with him, but she only really kind of goes for the jugular when he provokes her and when he does it first. And he's mean. Like, he's preying on this woman's insecurities. He loves to see her downfall. He's mean. He's saying horrible things to her, and I don't know how we're going to turn that around. Well, I do, but I don't know how I'm going to turn around my opinion of him based on how awful he has been so far. It's going to have to be a lot of grafting on his part for me to kind of believe any character development that happens, because he's been so mean. So do just bear that in mind. If you also like kind of a dislike to love, but don't like it when the MMC is just a bit of a prick, be wary going into this one, because he's not very nice. I'm not saying it in like a dark romance kind of way, by the way. It's a contemporary romance. He's not like torturing her. He's just saying horrible things that I don't know that we can come back from. I don't know that I can come back from. Obviously they're going to come back from it. That's the point of the book. But yeah, that's where I am right now with reading. But anyway, I'm going to go start work now. So I will speak to you when I've got something to say. I am now 45% through Gloves Off, and I'm literally sat reading now, and I just need to talk about this. What I don't understand, so I'm getting to the point of the book, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm getting to the point in the book where our MMC is starting to realise that he's been an absolute prick. It's not a full realisation, they're not like together or anything at this point in the book, just to make it clear. It's not like an insta-love kind of situation, but he's starting to learn a bit more about Georgia and realising that his idea of her doesn't necessarily match up with what he's thought about her. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think it's obvious that that was going to happen at some point in the book. They obviously weren't going to get together while they still hated each other. My problem is that he seems to think that as long as she is someone who wears nice things and spends money,
that means he's entitled to treat her like shit. I don't understand why him learning about her upbringing and the way she works and the job she has, why should that make a difference to the way that he treats her? Why shouldn't you have respect for someone, regardless of whether she buys herself shoes and spends a lot of time shopping or not? It's really bothering me that he seems to think that a certain type of woman, aka one that goes shopping a lot and likes material things, that automatically means he has the right to treat her like shit and have no respect for her. Hate that. And I don't see how we're going to get over this, because yes, he's starting to slowly realise he might have been wrong about Georgia, but he's still very much maintaining the belief that it was like not his fault that he treated Georgia like shit because he thought that she was like spoiled and spent a lot of money. Well, so what if she was? I just like to come in to say that. I don't have any other thoughts at this time other than I don't know. It's a shame, because otherwise I am loving this book. I'm finding it so easy to read. I adore Georgia with every fibre of my being. I'm reading it so quick. All I want to do is be sat reading it. But I am struggling to understand how I'm supposed to like him by the end of the book, unless he has like a personality transplant. But anyway, I'm going to go and carry on reading now. And I'll probably speak to you when I've finished this book at this point. I know it's not autumnal, but it is the autumn and I'm reading it, so it's going in this video anyway. I fear the time of year has come once again when I'm going to be filming all my videos wearing this massive, like, let me show you the scale of this. This massive cozy jumper, because it's freezing. I'm not complaining. I would rather it be cold than hot. I am an autumn winter girl, so I'm really not complaining. Just adding context as to why I'm dressed the way that I'm dressed. It's very cold. I also have so many reading updates that I've had to write them on a post-it note because I can't remember them all. It's been a few days since I spoke to you for this video, and I've been doing a lot of reading over the weekend. Today is Monday. I have just been at work. I have finished quite a few books since the last time I spoke to you. The first one is Rule of Wolves. This was, do I have it near me? No. This was okay. If you love the Grishaverse and the characters from Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, read this. You'll probably really enjoy it. It's basically 2 books of a big extended epilogue. Yeah, it has its own plot, but like, it's basically, I don't want to call it fan service. I think it stands on its own enough that it's not like pure fan service. But it's for people that really love the series. And I went into this duology hoping it was going to be like an epic love story between Nikolai and Zoya. It wasn't an epic love story. It was fine. Like, it was fine. I don't really know what more to say about this book. If you just thought the rest of the series was fine, I would skip these. If you absolutely love the Grishaverse, read them. But I feel like probably everyone that wants to read these books has by this point, to be honest. For context, I didn't love the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I really liked Six of Crows. I thought Crooked Kingdom was good, but not great. And that's where I landed. I only really read King of Scars and Rule of Wolves because I bought copies of them ages ago and I thought, I've got them, I might as well read them. So I did, and they were fine. On to the next. Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. This was good. This was good. I never quite got over Alexi's personality at the beginning though. I don't feel like it was ever justified enough. What really wound me up, I think I've said this, so I'm not going to talk about this book for too much because I have talked about it a lot, I think, in this video. What really annoyed me was that right until the end of the book, Alexi seems to maintain the fact that it's okay to treat a woman a certain way if she doesn't fit your idea of like what a woman should be. Like, if she's spoiled and she likes fashion, she likes to spend money, also it's fine to just treat her like shit then. I didn't really understand. Am I misreading the book? Like, I don't really understand why the MMC kind of maintains that throughout the novel. It doesn't seem to really be a learning point with that, to be honest. It was a good book. It was easy to read. It wasn't memorable. I haven't really thought about it since I finished it. But I adored Georgia and I wish she kind of had better, to be honest, because I think I would have thought about her character a lot had she been in a different book with a different MMC. I didn't hate Alexei. I think a lot of his character was fine, and like towards the end of the book he was very swoony. I could just never quite get over his attitude and some of the things that he said and did at the beginning. The next book I finished was released in 10. I don't think I'm going to give an extended review in this video because that's not really what this video is. Yes, it's like a bit of an autumn reading vlog, get ready for autumn, but this isn't kind of the wrap up. I did a longer review on Goodreads and I will do a longer review in my wrap up. I rated it 2.5. I just want to make it extremely clear that I didn't rate it that because I don't like Lizzie. Or actually, I didn't rate it that low because of anything actually to do with the content of the book necessarily. I just don't like how this book was written. I thought it was too long. All the books in this series are long, which is fine. Like Binding and Keeping 13, I could have read another 1,000 pages of. I don't have a problem with long books. But this one felt too long to me. I don't think we needed it to be as long as it was to make a point. I would rather Taming 7 have been longer and this one have been shorter. Again, nothing to do with how I feel about the characters in this book versus that one. Just in terms of the story and what we take away from it, I didn't think it needed to be quite as long. I also thought it was weirdly balanced between how much time we spent in Lizzie's very early childhood versus kind of meeting up with the timeline of the rest of the series. I completely understand why we need to spend a fair bit of time on Lizzie's childhood. A lot happens there, there's a lot to unpack. However, is that not true of other characters in the series where the book was written starting from the same point in the timeline where they're at Tommen and then flashing back when relevant? I think that structure would have worked better in this book as well. Or maybe do like 100 pages at the beginning about her childhood and then let's get back up to speed and then we can keep flashing back as and when we need to her childhood. Personally, for me, that would have made it more impactful. And I'm not saying it wasn't impactful. Obviously, what happened to her was completely and utterly horrific. I just think from a reader's perspective, like just on a baseline of reading a book, it would have been nothing could have made this book enjoyable, but a more, I don't know, I just would have found it better to read had it been structured like the other books in the series. On a similar note, the tone of this one was very, very different, and you could argue that's because of what happened to Lizzie. But also, very similar things happened to other characters, or things of a similar severity happened to other characters in the series, and the books didn't have the tone that this one did. I think Chloe Walsh did a really good job in the other 5 books in this series of weaving in just general teenage life and the troubles and joys that come with that, with the trauma. Whereas I feel like this book was just trauma all over the place. And yes, Lizzie's life was trauma all over the place, but again, if you are writing a book and it's part of a series especially, I feel like it needs to feel like it fits with the rest of the series, and this book didn't for me. I'm going to stop talking about it now before I start getting cyberbullied. If you enjoyed the book, like, that's absolutely fine. I just don't like necessarily how the book was written. I feel like it could have been done differently and still had the same amount of impact. Just for an example, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but the big thing that we find out that happened to Gibbsy in Taming 7, not the things that we kind of knew about in the previous books, the thing that we find out specifically in Taming 7 near the end of the book, I think. We saw only the one scene, was it? Or a few little scenes of that. And I wept. It was so impactful. It absolutely broke my heart. And it was a few little scenes. And I wish we'd gone down a similar kind of path with Lizzie's story not Lizzie's story. I wish we'd gone down a similar path with how this book was written, specifically. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I have thought about the book since I finished it. And I'm still going to carry on with the series. I'm looking forward to the next book because this book ended kind of back up where we should be in the timeline, in line with all the other books. And I was sobbing on the last page of Release in 10. I was absolutely sobbing. So I am definitely going to read the next book. It's made me view both Lizzie and Hugh very differently. And I'm excited to see more of their story. But I just didn't love how this one was written. Just purely on like a structural level. Oh, and one more thing, the dialogue. Two more things. Then I am going to shut up. First one, dialogue. When they were younger, when they were like 7 and 8 years old, they were talking like they were 18. And obviously partly for Lizzie that might make sense because of the trauma and things can definitely make you grow up quicker and your brain works different and you speak differently, 100%. But like Hugh, when he was 8, was speaking like he was 18. And they just kept saying like he's mature for his age. Yeah, there's mature for your age. And then there's speaking like an 18-year-old when you're 8. That's not the same thing. And he didn't have kind of there was no explanation for why he would be like at that point like so advanced. It was just, yeah, it was like he was written too old, even though he was supposed to seem a bit older than his age. It was just a bit much. And then the last thing I was going to talk about was the sexual language used in this book. In Lizzie's points of view, I felt like it really made sense because of what she went through, and like scientifically in the real world, the repercussions and the consequences of what she went through would make her being hypersexual and using that kind of language. It would make it make sense 100%. But I don't know why we needed it so much from Hugh's point of view, and I also don't think we necessarily needed it so many times. I felt like, again, this book was just repetitive, and I get that the events of Lizzie's life were repetitive, but I don't think those two things matched up, and I don't think they had the impact that the author was perhaps intending it to have from being repetitive, particularly when they were a bit older. I don't think we needed to see quite so many intimate scenes. I think Chloe Walsh needed to trust us as the reader a little bit more. If she was to put one of those scenes in and then say, you know, this continued for years. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could have just kind of made it clear that that kind of, I don't want to say behaviour from Lizzie, that makes it sound like she's a misbehaving dog or something. That kind of, those actions and those urges from Lizzie, we could have, as the reader, been told that they kept happening without having to see it every single time. Same with the stuff in childhood, to be fair. I think we didn't have to see it as many times as we did in as graphic a detail as we did for us to understand what was happening to her. But anyway, on to the next. I hope I don't get cyberbullied. I have started and finished Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I listened to it on audio in like 3 sittings, so I just kind of forgot to mention it. This one actually is quite an autumnal book. It's like slightly gothic, but not too gothic. Bridgerton, fantasy, murder mystery, all in one. Not a massively long book. It, as I said, I listened to it in 3 sittings. It was really easy to read and digest. It definitely lacked a bit of complexity. I've not decided on a final rating quite yet because I only finished it today. I think I'm going to go with around a 3.5. I enjoyed what was in there. I loved that Death was a character. I really loved that. I always love that in books. Like, The Book Thief is one of my favourite books ever because Death is a character. Loved that. I don't know what I thought was missing. It just lacked a bit of something for me. But I think I probably am going to read on. I think I'm at least going to try the second book. I don't know what was missing. Just something, and I can't quite put my finger on what. But that's where we are in terms of the books that I have finished. And I have started Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I'm obsessed. Actually, I'm not obsessed. That's a lie. I really like it. I love the vibe. I didn't realise that this book was going to be still small town, which I love. I'm so glad that it's still a small town romance. And the small town vibes are hitting. Like, it feels so cosy and like comforting to read. The one thing that I don't like, there's 2 things actually. For the first thing that I don't love about this is that she has a boyfriend at the beginning of the book. And I'm not going to say how far in I am because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm a fair bit into the book and she's not dumped him yet. And again, I don't want to say too much, but it's not because she doesn't want to necessarily. And I just don't really understand why we haven't done it yet. Like, I kind of do logistically, but also like, Elsie, you could have just written this a bit differently, babe. Like, I don't think we need the boyfriend. I think at the beginning he played his part well enough, but we don't need him to be in the book at the point that he is still, not physically, but existing as her boyfriend. It's making me take a real step back from, they're not in a relationship, obviously. She's not cheating on her boyfriend or anything at this point anyway. I hope she doesn't. It's just making me take a little bit of a step back from the 2 main characters. I don't really get invested until the boyfriend's gone. And then I can start swooning over them. But even now, like, when they look at each other a certain way, like the FMC and the MMC, I'm like, oh, she's got a boyfriend. Like, I don't know, I don't want to get invested in this yet because I need him to be gone first, the boyfriend. He needs to go. So I don't love that. And I also think we need a bit more development of, so basically, the MMC, what's his name again, Ford, he's Willa's brother from Heartless. The Chestnut Springs series, Willa, Ford is her brother, and Rosie is our FMC. They've known each other since they were children, grew up together. Rosie is his best friend's little sister. They've known each other forever. They've always had kind of a back and forth bantery type relationship. So they've known each other a very long time. They've not seen each other though, or really spoken, I don't think, at all in a decade. She's come back to the small town and he's kind of not instantly in love with her again, but like, he likes to the point where I'm like, we need a bit more development of this because you've not known this woman for a decade now. Like, I don't know, I feel like we just need a bit more, why do you like her now in the present day? Like, I understand that you had a crush on her when you were kids, but how has that just come straight back when you don't really know her now? Like, she's a different person. You've been living apart for a decade, living different lives. Can we have a bit more, what do you like about her now? Like, do you know what I mean? I think we need a little bit more of that. But other than that, I am really enjoying it. It's so quick and easy to read. I love Elsie Silver's writing. I love the way she writes small towns and makes it feel like you are just either there or desperately want to be. So I am very much enjoying the book. There's just those couple of little niggles that we need to fix before I get like fully invested. But I'm going to read some more of that this evening. I'll try and give you an update at some point in the next couple of days on how I am feeling about Wild Love and anything else autumnal that I get up to in the meantime. I'm at my second garden centre in 2 days. I forgot to film yesterday. I was so overwhelmed with joy. I went to the range yesterday. The range that I went to has a range and a home base like mixed together. So it's a garden centre and a range in the same building. Talk dirty to me. They had all the Christmas stuff out and the autumn stuff in the same like section. I felt like I had been reborn as some kind of goddess and blessed and put there in that building. That's how happy I was. I didn't film. I was so overwhelmed with joy that I didn't even film. I don't think the place I'm at today have the Christmas stuff out yet. They don't tend to put it out quite as early. I'm here for something really boring. I'm here for stones that you would put in the bottom of a fish tank to put in a vase that I'm going to put my Lego flowers in. So I'm not here for anything exciting, but I'm hoping they will have some cute autumn bits that I can have a little perusal at whilst I'm here. Back in the car, slight fail. They didn't have what I wanted. And I barely filmed anything because there was some cute stuff. There was some cute autumnal stuff, but they've started putting the Christmas stuff out. The sheer scale of what I believe to be the Christmas section started sending excitement through my bloodstream. So I'm very excited to come back here in a few weeks when the Christmas stuff is out. It took everything in me not to film the Christmas stuff for this vlog because that's not the point of this vlog. We're not at Christmas yet as much as I would like to be. Sorry the vlog clips of that were crap. Sorry if I filled you with hope that you were going to get a decent garden centre clip. And sorry for not filming in the range. That would have been a good thing for me to do. But alas, here we are. Still need some gravel. It's still autumn. See you when I next do something autumnal. I'm just a girl sat on a floor in front of a radiator that's got a t-shirt, a mop head and some cleaning cloths drying on it that have been in the wash. Not all together. I don't wash my clothes in the same wash as my cleaning cloths. Anyway, no one cares. I'm here to round out this video, but there's a couple of leftover things that I needed to show / chat to you about. So the first pair of shoes I bought, you have already seen in this video. I got these a couple of weeks ago. I saw, whilst I was on holiday, I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw the UGG clogs, the new UGG clogs. Are they new? They look like this anyway. They were £125. And I've never owned this style of shoe and I really didn't know how I would feel about them. I have UGG boots that I wear. I wanted something for this time of year that wasn't just a trainer. I basically wanted an autumn croc because all summer I just wear Crocs. I wanted a shoe that wasn't a trainer, that I could slip on and it still felt nice and cozy but wasn't as warm as an UGG boot because we're still getting quite a few warm days at the moment. So these were my answers to that. However, the UGG ones were £125 and I've never owned this style of shoe. I also don't know how much wear I'm going to be able to get out of these in the winter. Obviously, I'm not really going to be able to wear them in the summer. So they're basically just going to be like a spring and autumn shoe. So I didn't really want to spend £125 on something that I wasn't sure about. So I found these. These are from Jack Wills. I think it technically said that they were slippers, but the soles are like pretty thick and decent looking. So I don't really care if these are slippers. I've been wearing them outside. Whether or not they were intended for that is another question. These were supposed to be £60, but they were on sale on Sports Direct for 17. So I thought, for what is basically 15 quid, 20 quid including shipping, this is the perfect opportunity to see if I like the style of shoe, and I'm obsessed with these. I'm wearing them at any given opportunity. I love them. And then I also needed a new pair of trainers. I don't buy trainers often. I wear my trainers to absolute death. They are the shoes that I wear to work. I'm just looking at my shoe rack next to me and all of my trainers are just like a bit grim now. Like they're still fine to wear out for walks and things like that, but I wanted a pair of trainers that I just wear for work, that are neutral, that go with every work outfit, that are just easy, where I don't have to think about what shoes I'm putting on in the morning and I know they're going to be comfortable and last me a while. So all that to say, I got these. I was going to get the Adidas Sambas, but they were £95. And I'm going to wear these a lot, so they might not... Adidas trainers, like, I've had mine for years and they last a long time. But I'm literally going to be wearing these for work every day. So I didn't really want to spend £95 on something that I'm going to wear in, like, all weathers and that might potentially end up looking a bit grubby. So I went with these ones. They basically look almost exactly the same. The Sambas, this suede bit, just is it suede? Yeah, just continues round to near the first stripe. That's pretty much the only difference. Oh, and obviously it says Sam. I'm not a fan of this. I don't like this font. So if you don't know, for Adidas, they have Adidas Originals, which is my preference, which isn't what these are. And then they have this Adidas, which is like the cheaper sporty Adidas. I do wish that wasn't there. But I thought these were £60, but I had a voucher for Next and they had these on Next, which meant I only paid £20. So I was like, I can't pay £95 for a pair of shoes that look almost exactly the same just for the sake of that, which will probably be covered by my trousers anyway, because I wear like straight leg trousers for work a lot of the time. Anyway, literally no one cares. I wanted leather so that I could wear them in the rain and not have to worry. The only little bit of suede is that bit, but I'm not too concerned about like them bits. They'll be fine. And yeah, they're just white with black stripes, but I like that this adds a bit of a like a beigey neutral vibe. And that's that. Sorry for my appearance, by the way. I didn't plan to film today, but I just need to finish this vlog because it's actually going up today. So hello, I'm filming this on the day it's going up and not the vlog. So apologies about this. I'm just painting the house today and then probably going out for a walk. So I have made no effort with my appearance. Wild Love, I finished it a couple of days ago. I gave it 3 stars and I think that's generous. I do think that's generous. It wasn't awful, but there was a lot that I didn't like about it. Everything I said before stands. All of the problems that I previously mentioned continue to irritate me pretty much throughout the book. The only one thing I didn't mention before that I figured out was a real big problem was that this whole relationship that they have, the whole like back and forth nonsense, hinges on the fact that they hated each other as children, right? They constantly say, but I hate you, but I hate you. But you don't, and you never did. Like, at no point in this book was it convincing that they hated each other. I don't understand why that needed to be a thing. Why couldn't it just have been like oh, we're forbidden because it's my best friend's little sister, or from her point of view, my brother's best friend. We bickered as kids, like, you know, maybe we had a bit of a crush on each other, but we bickered and blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't we just have gone with that? The fact that Elsie Silver has tried to convince me that these two hated each other just irritated me because they so clearly didn't. And it wasn't a case of like, I don't want to spoil any books, actually, even though they're old and people probably have read them. There's a lot of romance books, right, where it's like, oh, they hate each other and then realise later on, like, oh, he never hated her and he was in love with her the whole time. That wasn't what was done here. Or if that was what Elsie was trying to do, I don't think that's what was achieved. As a reader, I didn't get that vibe. It just felt like a really kind of poor setup that they were supposed to hate each other, and they just didn't. Like, they just did not hate each other at all. So I didn't hate this book, but I didn't like it. I am still going to read the rest of the series because, as always, I loved Elsie Silver's writing. The small town setting was gorgeous, chef's kiss. I just didn't like the actual plot or romance in this, or lack thereof, because we didn't actually see them fall in love on page, by the way. You just, it just happens, and it's not like I don't know. I just didn't find this very romantic. I don't really feel like we saw them develop feelings for each other and fall in love. Didn't vibe with this one, but will definitely read on in the series because I think these characters just lacked a bit of oomph, and the story just lacked a bit of oomph, and the romance lacked romance. But I don't think that was a writing thing. I think it was just the setup for this was poor and it made the book not good. And that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.